We're about 30 days away from the early National Signing Day period, and Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs are hoping to once again sign the nation's #1 ranked recruiting class. And if they do it again this year, it's because they signed an elite defensive line class. And of course, that's what this video is all about. I'll be breaking down the guys they have currently on board, who the remaining targets are, and what their class could look like on the defensive line in this 2022 signing class. So let's get started. And the first guy I want to talk about is Mykel Williams, 6'5", 265 pounds, big-time edge rusher, 5-star, number 23 ranked player in the country. He committed to Georgia in late October on the 20th, and he's a guy who can really get after the passer. He can stop the run. He's got elite size, frame, get off. He's so quick. He moves really well off the ball, as you can see from some of these clips right here that I got at the opening combine. He just moves really, really well. He has big physical hands to get off blocks from guys on the edge. He dominated Elijah Pritchett, a 5-star. Well, most think it's a 5-star offensive tackle, currently committed to Alabama, who plays in that Columbus area. And Mykel Williams absolutely whooped him. Just a really, really good player. If you were to draw it up on NCAA, it would look a lot like Mykel Williams. One of the top defenders in the entire country, one of the top defensive linemen in the entire country, and obviously one of the top ranked players in the state. I think I have him as my number 3 player in the state of Georgia. I actually need to go look at that and check on that actually, but he's an elite player. There's no doubt about it. And after watching what Georgia's defensive line has done this year and the way they're getting after the quarterback, he knew that he wanted to stay at home, commit to the Georgia Bulldogs to play for Kirby Smart. So that's one elite edge defender right there who can help you against the run and the pass. Another guy they have is, of course, Bear Alexander. This is your guy in the middle, 6'3", 325 pounds, can take on a double team, can close those holes in the middle of the trenches. He can also get after the passer. Now, he's bounced around a good bit at the high school level, played at multiple high schools in Texas, now at IMG, but everyone I've spoken to, especially the folks out in Texas, believe that he is the real deal. He is a wrecking ball in the middle of a defensive line, and he's another guy who you would put in elite status. He's one of the top 40 players in the country, the number 6 defensive line prospect in the country, and the dude just gets after it. 6'3", again, about 325, stout, strong, powerful. He's not as tall as Jordan Davis, who's about 6'6", but he's a guy that can play in that, that zero technique, that one technique over the center, in between a guard. He plays in that middle, can really get after the passer and disrupt the running game as well. So already 2 big-time guys who could play really on the interior. I think Mykel Williams could move inside down the road. They also have 2 edge guys, Dalton Madden out of Cedar Grove, a guy who hasn't really played a ton at all at the high school level. 6'3", 240. I've seen him in person. He definitely looks the part and can make some plays. He plays a little out of position right now at Cedar Grove at middle linebacker, but he can come down closer to the line of scrimmage as well. But he's a guy who's going to play on the edge. More of a project right now, a guy that the staff worked out in person back in June. Once visits were allowed to happen, his stock took off. They gave him an opportunity to join the class, and he jumped on that back in September. So a guy who's fully on board right now, but still one of the lower ranked guys in this class. Right now he's on board. We'll see if he's on board in 30 days from now. Another guy they have currently committed is Tyree West, but I believe that he is almost on his way to Florida State right now. That's kind of why I didn't include him earlier. Not one of my favorite guys in this class, but he has been productive at times, and he has good size, 6'3", 280. Who can move pretty well and get lateral and can stop the rush, but not super athletic. And I think he's a guy that Georgia stopped having communication with a little bit here and there. Right now, he's still publicly committed to the University of Georgia. We'll see for how long, because he is definitely trending towards Florida State. He's taken a visit there, I believe, yesterday or at least earlier this week, and that is the team kind of trending with him at the moment. So I do think sooner than later he will probably not be on the commit list. That's why I think the only 2 real ones, firm commitments right now are Mykel Williams and Bear Alexander. Another guy on the edge, Darius Smith. This is your Leonard Floyd, 6'6", long, athletic, 225, lean, quick, explosive off the edge. Is playing a little bit of offense right now for Appling County as well at tight end. He can make some plays down the field. just uber athletic for a guy at 6'6", 225. He's got the length. He's got, the look for sure of an elite outside linebacker, pass rusher type. And I think if he can take care of business in the classroom, then I think he will end up in Georgia's class here and be able to sign with them. But he is a big-time raw athlete that I think the staff can't wait to get their hands on. Big-time player to know. Another guy to keep an eye on, Kristen Miller out of Cedar Grove, 4-star guy who just dominated when I saw him play against, who was that? Not Blessed Trinity. It was Wesleyan. It was Wesleyan. Just destroyed them on every single play. Yeah, it was Wesleyan. But anyway, really, really impressive. And I think he's a guy that's climbed Georgia's board more and more. And I think he has a spot in this class if he wants it. And I think Georgia is training for him. So another top 100 player in the country, I think. I think he's a top 10 player in the state in my eyes. And definitely a guy who has grown on me and on a lot of the sites that you'll see over time more and more. So he's definitely a guy to keep an eye on. 4-star Hero Canoe out of California. He is another guy who took an official visit to Georgia earlier this month, I believe. And he's a guy from Germany that Georgia has offered and they've hosted. So he's a guy to keep an eye on. So is Sean Washington, a 3-star defensive lineman, another interior guy from New Orleans out of Warren Easton High School, same high school as Cedric Van Pran. I want to make sure I get that right. I think I got it right. I got it wrong one of those 2 times. But either way, these are guys that Georgia is still communicating with, still inviting on campus, and guys who could possibly be that final 1 or 2 spots on the defensive line for this class. But at the end of the day, they went after big-time elite defensive linemen, and they've got some on board already, and I think there's a chance they could add a couple more. And if they do, I think they could make a push for the #1 defensive line class in the country and possibly the #1 ranked recruiting class in the 2022 cycle. Guys, thanks for watching this video. As always, stay tuned to the next video coming up right now, and I'll see you over on the website.